Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 56 of Shelf Review. Today we'll be going over chapter 232 of Chainsaw Man, the big finale. That was rough. I mean, it ended good, it ended happily, but oh my goodness, it about got me. That was a tearjerker of a chapter. It's titled, Thank You Chainsaw Man, and indeed, thank you Chainsaw Man. I have to create such a lovely story, such a grasping, such an enjoyable story. There is nothing less to say, nothing more to say than just thank you, Chainsaw Man, because that chapter was phenomenal. That entire series was phenomenal, and golly, I just wish it could have kept on for a little bit longer. But yeah, so we start off with the chapter with Denji being in his little shed, and he wakes up and he's like, I wish, he said, I woke up from a bad dream and a good dream. I wish I could only had good dreams. And he's like eating with a girl and playing video games, but he's like, and having a dog too. And having a dog. Oh my gosh. And then we end up going and seeing like the events of Chainsaw Man playing out. We see in this new universe, we see as Denji ends up going to the storage house where he meets up with the Yakuza, the zombie demon, whatever ends up fighting against him. However, this time instead of being saved by Pochita, he's saved by Power. Power comes in, kills all the devils that are around and all that good stuff, and ends up actually making a contract with him since she gives him his blood. He gives him her blood and ends up revitalizing him by that. And then we see as what should be Makima walks in is actually Nayuta. Nayuta, it was good to say Nayuta again. I love Nayuta. And yeah, so we see Nayuta. And then we see as she goes along, and they end up getting recruited by Nayuta to end up working with the devil killers. I can't remember exactly what they're called. The public service people. But yeah, she ends up recruiting them for that, and we see as Power has Meowie around her, and Meowie is loving up on Nayuta, and we see as Power and Denji are walking off to go execute their goal, which was to kill a devil that was at a local high school, or local school. And so we see as they go along, and Power mentions the Meowie should only love me. I guess that kid must be the control devil or something, which was a cool little reference to her being the control devil. And we see as they go along, and eventually they end up killing this devil, and we see as Power ends up giving Denji her tools. So this is how they work together, because Power makes the tools and gives them to Denji. So she ends up making a blood chainsaw for Denji, and Denji uses the chainsaw to beat up the devil and all that good stuff. But then we see as they're kind of waiting for the cleanup and all that, and then Denji notices another devil, and he's like, Power, yo, isn't that another devil? And Power's sitting on the ground looking up the blood. But he runs over to help, and this devil is the chicken devil. And we see as Nayuta is about to fall and drop it and squelch it and start what eventually led to her acquiring Yoro and the war devil and all that stuff. But Denji saves it. This is the part that got me. I have only ever cried once for media, and it was a dog's journey, but it's still about to get me. Oh my gosh. Well, we see as Denji ends up saving Asa from falling on the devil and on the chicken devil, and the chicken devil ends up living. I don't know why that got me, but oh my goodness. Asa not falling on the chicken devil and her being saved by Denji from doing this. It just really got me. And there's this panel where he's holding her hand back, and the chicken devil's just flying off to the side. And then it just ended up going off. She's like, thank you, Chainsaw Man, because he's like, what'd you call me Chainsaw Man for? And it's like heart wrenches. And, well, it thumps, as he says. And he's like, why'd you call me Chainsaw Man? She said, well, because you killed that devil with the chainsaw. And then she runs off. She's like, well, thanks, goodbye. And also runs off. Nothing happened between them besides Denji's heart thumping because he got called Chainsaw Man. And it's getting to me. Oh my goodness. You can probably tell by my voice and the amount I'm stuttering. I'm still trying to recover from this, and then as I'll go along, and then we just see as Denji walks off and he talks to Power. He's like, my heart just kind of weirdly thumped there. And Power goes, yes, you have heart thump disease. I know because I have much medical knowledge, and I'll heal you of it if we go to get food. And so she's going about talking to go get food and fried chicken and all that good stuff. And Denji's like, nah, I can't because I'm broke, so let's go haggle the senior officers. And that's the end of Chainsaw Man. Oh my gosh. That that chapter got me. Holy smokes. Like, everything about it. Like, it was not the ending I was expecting, but it was a good ending. I gotta admit. It was a cool way to go about it. Because now, honestly, crap. Denji, honestly, how he was in this new universe kind of reminded me of, crap. It's the K name dude, the old guy who's been in the public service for like years, the oldest one. His name's like, it's a K. Crap, why can I remember that? Well, it's been so long since I read part one, but it's like, it's not Kishibe. Is it Kishibe? It's something like that. I'm sorry, I can't remember at the moment. I was like a Chainsaw Man LARPer, but I've read all of it, I swear. But, yeah, golly, that one panel of Asa not falling on the chicken devil, because like that essentially ruined her life, because like everything up to that, she had been like slowly building up with her class and all that good stuff, and then she fell in the chicken devil in the original universe, and that ruined everything for her. It ended up her getting taken over by Yoru, and all that good stuff, and it was just, it was like almost cathartic, but it was so sad to see her not end up going down that path and end up ultimately building a relationship with Denji. And just her not falling on it, the chicken devil going on to live, and her and Denji just saying a brief couple of sentences and then nothing. They're gone. Denji noticing and Denji heart thumping because he got called Chainsaw Man. It was just, I cannot explain properly the emotional impact that this chapter has had. It was just so fun to see Power again. I loved that Power and Denji did get reunited in the end, because Power was like, find me when I reincarnate. And that was one of Denji's goals, was to find Power. Because Power would reincarnate somewhere and she would find him, and he would find her. And he did that with Makima since he found Nayuta, and I'm glad that we got to see Nayuta again, because her getting decapitated was really sad too. But we also see that she has her little love for dogs still, like the Control Devil does, because we have this brief panel where where Denji and Power are like in her office and they're getting jumped up by dogs. Yeah, it was good to see Nayuta again, and I love to see that Power ultimately ended up being reunited with Denji, because they're good friends, and it was just good to see them back together as friends, and it was just, I can barely describe. I'm literally speechless right now. Well, speechless after speaking for 7 minutes, but still, I don't have a lot to say, because it speaks for itself, really. I would highly recommend reading it. Like, you need to read it. It's so good. Like, I mean, the one big disappointing thing, Denji didn't get his goal. Denji did not get to have his intercourse, sadly. That does suck. Okay, not in a weird way. I was hoping that he did, so that he would be able to achieve his dream. That was his goal. He was to know a woman, I'll say in that manner. But yeah, and he didn't get it this time. He didn't even really get a relationship in this universe, besides being friends with Power. But I believe that is something that will satisfy Denji in this universe, that we'll not get to see Denji anymore in this universe, because it's the end. The final line of the chapter was the end in black and white. And yeah, so it was really sad not to see Denji to get to do what he wanted to do for his whole life. But, well, I guess not really his whole life, but for a long time, what the entirety of Chainsaw Man was about, he didn't end up even getting to do. But he got to dream, he got to live his life, he got to reunite with Power, though he didn't even know who Power was in this universe. He got to do, and it's, like I said, it's sad that he didn't get to complete all of his dreams, but I mean, I guess it's kind of fitting. It's kind of how life is. You don't get to do all of your dreams sometimes, and stuff happens. But, yeah, golly. And there's so many times, there's multiple times, there's one time predominantly, where Power mentions that Denji smells like dog, and it hurts to know that Pochita's, like, essence is lingering within Denji, and how he's still knowing about Pochita. Like, he has, like, essences. He wanted a dog. He smells like dog. It's just, it sucks to know that Pochita is gone, but he's still there. But because he's gone, we don't get the universe that Denji got to have. We don't get that life. Denji is instead left in a more somber life, yet still an okay life. He is still left pretty well off. He has a friend, he has a job, and he's no longer suffering in poverty. But, that was a sad chapter. I cannot deny it. It was really sad, and it will grab your heart. If you're a long-time Chainsaw Man fan, even if you're a newer Chainsaw Man fan, like I said, only a handful of months ago, I read the entire manga in like 2 weeks. And you can honestly read that manga in, I would say, less than 5 days, because I read 150 chapters in 5 days, and I wasn't even reading that much. But yeah, I highly recommend reading it or watching the anime. I mean, the anime is only up to like the second arc. It's not like it's nowhere near as long as the manga yet, because it's just now starting to even grow closer to the end of part one. And part one is like, I think, like almost a third of the size of part two. So yeah, but I highly recommend reading the manga. It's so good, and the ending, though you may be disappointed that Denji didn't get to have his intercourse, it is still a very satisfying and a very sad ending. But I mean, I never expected Denji's story to end happily, so because I mean it's Fujimoto in the end of the day, and I can't wait to see what else comes of Fujimoto, because I love Fujimoto's work. I'm reading some more of Fire Punch right now, and I love Chainsaw Man, and I especially love this ending. I know it could have been different, it could have been longer, it could have been anything, but I'm satisfied with it. But there's also only one gripe that I had, really. I know it's in one of the panels early on, because Denji still has an eye patch in this new universe. There's like one of the very, very early panels in the chapter. He's missing both the eye patches. You can see both of his eyes, which is kind of odd. But I can't blame it, because I mean, yes, it should have not been done, since this is the big finale. So it should have been put in a little bit more detail. But I can't complain about Fujimoto. Fujimoto's goated. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about chapter 232 of Chainsaw Man, titled "Thank You, Chainsaw Man." And once again, thank you, Chainsaw Man. Well, that's all I really have for episode 56 of Shelf Review, so thank you very much for watching.